Welcome back, Wi-Fi wizards. Let's get it cracking.
Breaking news. FBI investigates Diddy's connection to Michael Jackson's death. New documents reveal a shocking twist. The FBI is now looking into Diddy's possible involvement in the death of Michael Jackson. That's right, the king of pop might have been silenced by someone nobody ever suspected. For years, everyone believed Michael Jackson's death was just a tragic accident. But newly surfaced documents show that Michael knew someone was after him. And guess what? Diddy's name appeared in the investigations, but why? According to leaked reports, Diddy was allegedly involved in a series of secret threats against Michael. He knew Michael was about to expose a dark scheme that involved some of the biggest names in the music industry. And when Michael tried to break free, things started spiraling out of control. Why would Diddy do this? Was he protecting something or someone? Sources close to the case say Michael was being controlled before his death. And from that point on, Michael seemed terrified. Was he becoming a problem for people who were too powerful to cross? And was Diddy the fixer brought in to make sure Michael never spoke again? But the worst part? The FBI recently found new evidence in one of Diddy's properties. Documents that might finally unlock the truth about what really happened on Michael's final night. Could this be the breakthrough we've been waiting for? Or will more people fall before we uncover the full story? Comment "Justice for Michael" if you think the truth is close. And follow for part 2, where we'll reveal what the FBI doesn't want you to know. This video is a theory and is not confirmed at all.
Oh, bloody hell, the diddler. He's been blamed for everything, innit? Apparently he killed John Lennon. Won't put it past him anyway. Now, Michael Jackson, obviously it's a bit of a controversy, a bit of a reach, but Michael Jackson did. A lot of people didn't like the way Michael Jackson conducted business. Same with Prince. He knew too much, he owned too much. He'd been in the business, he'd been in the industry too long. So they couldn't pull the wool over on him. He was buying everyone, he was buying up the Beatles, Eminem, everyone. Had his hand in everyone's pocket. Eminem killed him.
We can tell that they are doing a screen recording. It's not somebody who's got a camera who's filming the screen like I would be doing here. That's one of the earliest details that I noticed. And so when the sleuths on social media found out that this was a Citrix session logged into a database because of the mouse is at 24 frames per second that we see in the satellite video, and it comes off the top right of the screen and goes off to the bottom left of the screen, indicating they're looking at a much larger field of view, but they're cropped it down. We're moving the drone so that we wouldn't see that. We're moving other information from it. That's when I went, holy crap. This is a US military personnel who was recording this on a screen recording. They knew they were gonna get caught. They have logs for Citrix sessions logging into databases like this. And they leaked this to the world, potentially because they knew the United States would never find it. And I was sitting there one day in October and I was going, wait a minute, I've got like a psychological profile for the person who would have leaked this. It would have to be a US military personnel. They would be a patriot, most likely, that wants to tell the world. They removed the HUD data and all this other sensitive information. They leaked the first video, thinking that maybe the world will pick up on that first video and they don't even need to leak the second one. And then when we ignore that, they drop the second video as in perfect synchronization. Now you've got absolute proof. We've got coordinates. We've got 2 different videos. So I started Googling, looking up people. It took me about 2 weeks because it's really hard to find some of this information that goes back, especially 7 or 8 years or more. And then I run across Lieutenant Commander Edward C. Lynn. I am 99.999% sure this is the guy right away. Every single thing. I've got my spider senses just going off. Signals intelligence all over every single news article about him. The strange case of Lieutenant Commander Edward C. Lynn, completely redacted information, charged with espionage, but there's no evidence he exchanged any information with anyone from China. And that was unusual to me because if you think about the person that would have leaked this, the United States government would have assumed that they're trying to help China out, especially if it's an espionage event. But then if they find out that there's no evidence of that because it was just somebody who was trying to tell the world the truth, now it gets really awkward. He was actually a Taiwanese national who had been naturalized into the United States, a guy that we trusted with our military or nuclear weapons. So this was a guy that by all accounts was a patriot. But the circumstantial evidence is extremely damning. He was assigned to the VPU-2 Wizards, a secret spy plane program, in February of 2014, right before the plane disappeared. His lawyer is on the record saying that the investigation into him began April 2nd, 2014, the next month after the plane disappeared. And that's when I went, oh boy, like this is a very narrow window of time But there's more. It was actually the defense lawyer argued that the classified information in question is available on the internet, which if it's not these videos, why were they trying to get him in life in prison for espionage? And later on, ended up forcing him to a plea deal. And in the plea deal, just for disseminating classified information, he got a 9-year sentence, which is, huge compared to what other people for similar offenses have gotten. Most people with that kind of offense, they get like a slap on the wrist or like a year. They actually had to have people testify as to what he did, why it was so damaging. He was also caught with flight manifests that include search and rescue code names, which to me, this evidence piled together says this must be the guy. So I FOIA'd the FBI and NCIS. FBI wouldn't give me anything. They said it's privacy related. NCIS rejected my FOIA in total. I had the head of legal for FOIA respond back and sign the document saying it's to be kept secret in the interest of national defense or foreign policy. I think what we're looking at here is Lockheed Martin technology. I think that we've figured out anti-gravity. I don't know if we reverse engineered it or we've dug something up and figured it out, or if we've figured this out going all the way back to the Manhattan Project and the Philadelphia experiment. But I think we've got this technology. I think that's our technology. And I think that Edward C. Lin might not even have known. I think that he might have thought it was UFOs and thought, oh, I'm not hurting anybody by leaking this information to his Taiwanese friends who are allies with us against China. And that they pushed it onto the internet. Regicide Anon gets a hold of it. Then once it's on the internet, that's too late. It's out there now.
Smart people talking about smart things. I've seen him a few times talk about that. I don't know his name, I can't remember. But he seems to know what he's on about. And when he's talking about Lockheed Martin, yeah, I think they've known about anti-gravity properties for decades. It's electromagnetism. Now, I did see this video a long time ago, and for some reason it's resurfaced. And I've got to admit, I did think it was a joke at first, but I don't anymore. I believe it's real. I just believe that it's, as humans, we can't grasp it like that. Things like this could happen, but who would have thought that 25 years ago we'd have a supercomputer in our pockets? You know what I mean? It's crazy, but I think it's true, and I think there'll be more coming out about it, like over the next coming months.
Bigfoot caught on camera in a nature documentary, and the cameraman is certain it isn't human. The clip comes from a 2001 nature documentary and shows a herd of caribou running alongside a river in the far north of Quebec, Canada. People online are convinced that a documentary unintentionally caught Bigfoot on tape. Even the cameraman himself wasn't certain. The footage in question, circulating from a 2001 nature film titled Great North, looks into the landscape of the Arctic and long-standing Inuit traditions. The scene shows a caribou herd scampering along a river in Quebec's remote northern reaches. A moment or two into the clip, a dark figure can be seen keeping pace with the caribou before taking cover beneath a small ridge. Naturally, one might think it is simply a crew member who inadvertently wandered into the shot. However, this theory was contested by William Reeve, one of the cinematographers of the documentary. What's really interesting about this is that the fact that the crew had to be flown in by helicopter. So the likelihood that it's another human is very unlikely.
Tell me that ain't real. Do you know what I mean? They're not there to be finding Bigfoot. It's just like it's a happenstance they've caught it. So that's what gives it more credibility, I think. What does put me off, and now I can't get out of my head, is I watched Squatch Watchers or something the other week, and they was talking about it, and they said it looks like a guy on like either a quad or a motorbike stood up on it with his arms and a thing. I can't get that out of my head, I can't unsee that. But no, I do think it's a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, hairy man, whatever you want to call it. I think it's tracking the herd. I think we're seeing like some predator behaviour in action. Diddy. It is what it is. We all got our difference of opinion, haven't we? It's all just words. It's just complicated earth law. There's no reason to be mad. Everyone gets stressed. Disagree and disagree, agree to disagree, move on, keep it going.
This is 3 new Bigfoot videos. For some reason, Bigfoot's been all over the place lately. This is from Russia, watch closely. This next video is also from Russia.
Серега, что это? Серега, да ну, Серега. Серега, ну.
Look closely to read this warning Pennsylvania had to put up in its parks. I don't know why Bigfoot's around so much lately, but he's really going crazy. This last video was taken of eagle eggs to watch their nest. Look in the top right to see Bigfoot, our favorite cryptid. Let me know in the comments what you'd say to Bigfoot if you saw him in the woods, and like and follow me for more weird videos.
There you go. Another couple of videos of the Bigfoot. One of them, the shaky one, will get criticism. I don't even know, I can't make anything out of it. Because, yeah, you'd be shaking if you're seen that closely, of course you would. You wouldn't have your hands still, do you know what I mean? But that's what everyone goes on about. It's always filmed on a spud, it's always shaky. That's how you know it's Bigfoot. But when it's not, it's in 4K. Could be right outside your door and you won't believe it.
So there you have it, you guys. The US government basically have disclosed UAPs and what they are and what they aren't. They're given multiple definitions, biological and non-biological. Here, check this out for yourself.
Believe, just for the record, that the federal government, any part of the federal government, is knowingly concealing evidence about UAPs from the public.
Yes, sir.
100%. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I also want to just go down the line. I know many of you have already said this, but just for the record again, just briefly, what do you believe UAPs could be or are?
Strong evidence that they're non-human, higher intelligence.
I echo my colleague's comment, sir.
Genuinely do not know.
Don't know, but we must find out.
It's been how many years now, and they're still pulling our leg. I feel like they are still withholding information about UAPs and aliens and extraterrestrials, whatever they may be, because they show you all these scary creatures and these other beings in movies and television shows, but when it comes to real disclosure, they're not disclosing it because they don't want it to be reality. But nonetheless, do y'all remember when these guys are in the building? Do you remember what type of energy we see? Remember what type of beings that we pick up when these guys come into this place? Because they aren't what you really think they are. These are just, you know, technology that's masking what they look like. Just remember, why would they disclose who and what they are? You get what I'm saying? But at this point in time, they should just let us know, because it's ridiculous. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
I know it's been said a few times now, the way they've mentioned these aliens, we've got aliens on Earth in the ocean. How many decades have people wanted to know? Come on, admit it, tell us, stop keeping it from us. And they tell us no one bats an eyelid. That's mad in itself. 2, I've been saying this for years. I remember seeing one in Shag Harbour in, I don't know where about, like it's Maine or something, Boston or something, Massachusetts, somewhere in America. And there was like, they said the Navy was tracking it. I think this was 80s, early 90s or something, a long time ago anyway. And I said this years ago. But you're a tin foil, like, you're a tin head, do you know what I mean? Can't win.
The Paranormal Chick here. Take a look at this interesting video. A witness was using his drone to survey some land in Tennessee, and in the area that he was surveying did not have any logging companies or teams out. But what he captures has everybody asking questions. What looks to be like a full-size tree being yanked back and forth. Some unidentified creature. Could this lend proof to the theory that Bigfoots or Sasquatch pull full-size trees from the ground and use them for whatever purpose that they have for them? Take a look and tell me what you think.
Go on then, someone explain what that is. What's in the forest? What's slinging that around? Do you know what I mean? Who's got that much power? I don't know how many more times you can say Bigfoot is real. It's been passed down through oral history in these tribes in America. There's sightings everywhere. There's nests. There's structures, whistles, sounds, smells, everything. You catch something on footage, it's fake. And if you do catch it and it's a bit shaky, that's how you know it's a Bigfoot, because it's shaky and it's filmed on a spud. Do you know what I mean? You can't win. Just do your own research, go with an open mind, look at both sides and then decide. Don't just judge straight away and say, nope, can't be.
This man right here might be the first man with real documented footage of an actual mermaid. Now let's talk about it. Now in 1998, this dive master named Jeff Leicher photographed this creature known as the Kauai Point mermaid. Now it was said that it was between 6 to 10 other divers that was with him exploring the Hawaii's coast. And one day, him and his crew saw what looked like a nude woman swimming with a pod of dolphins. And he stated the woman was able to keep up with the pace of the dolphins, which I find very true because it is always rumored that mermaids are associated with dolphins. So when he seen this woman swimming with a group of dolphins and keeping up at the same speed, he was like, there's no humanly way that that's possible. He thought that was odd. And then all of a sudden she jumps into the air and he realized that she had the lower half of a fish and he seen scales. And one of the crew members points and start yelling and all of them started to look and all of them are literally in shambles. And he said that she had long flowy hair and one of the most beautiful faces that he has ever seen. And he said his heart almost gave out on him because he was just in complete shock. Now just think, you're a diver, you're always on the water, and then you see, like, you've heard about these type of rumors and, you know, fairy tales all your life, and then you just see something like this. Then he said she jumped once more, disappearing under the surface. So she was giving these boys a show. And all 10 people on the boat witnessed this with him. So then an hour later, they arrived at this point where they were diving and taking pictures of different colorful fish. Then suddenly he felt something brush against his right leg. And he said, she shot by me like a streak of lightning and turned and came back past me, swimming the other way. He said that's when he just aimed the camera and started snapping. And this is the actual picture that he took of this mermaid. And he said he just kept shooting and then she broke for the surface and like disappeared. And the Weekly World News had Leicher's pictures analyzed in like 3 different photography labs. And all 3 said that the photos were genuine and haven't been tampered with, y'all. And this photo have been studied and authenticized by experts, and they all say it hasn't, been edited or have any AI or anything. So this is a real legit picture. And he said that I feel very lucky that I'm the one to finally prove to the world what people have known for half a century. And he said the Kauai Point mermaid is very real. So there you have it, y'all. This is a real deal image of something that a diver shot, y'all, while he was on the coast of Hawaii. And like I said, there was 10 other people that documented and said that he was not tripping, that was with him while he was diving and while he seen this. And the pictures have been like I said, it's several different labs, and they said that it wasn't AI. So there you have it, y'all. If y'all still don't believe this stuff, then y'all just tripping because, come on. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And stay tuned for more of my mermaid tales and stories from around the globe.
Hear me out. The world's big. There's a lot of water. You can't count anything out. Been around since like 1000 BC, but then again, back in the days, they had no reason to lie, but then there was always like mystical, you never know. Some of them were just ridiculous. You got Sally on the rocks down at Brighton and she goes, yeah, it's in a mermaid, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that then. But then when you see stuff like this, I'm a sucker for it, I do kind of believe it. I'm biased. It is what it is. Make your own mind up.
What if it's called Freemasonry because they get the masonry for free? Hear me out. What if these old buildings have been around for like 25,000 years? And we live in a world like this where the sun rotates and moves around like the clock in Prague depicts, and it melts the ice lands to become inhabitable and freezes the old lands to become uninhabitable, causing an ice age. That's right, just imagine your world right here. Yes, it's the moon map, 4-quarter theory, baby. It's all connected, and what if these fallen beings know this and they travel with the sun, knowing that there is Freemasonry to be inhabited when they get there? A lot of people think these things were built by aliens because of the master masonry that comprises them. Wait, master masonry. Oh, master masonry, I've heard that before. They tell us there's no escape, There will be another ice age and there's nothing you can do about it, so tell your kids and tell them to tell their kids, and just one day it's all going to become ice. All while the government officials already know they're going to be finding some free masonry when the sun moves to its next age. What's the highest rank of Freemasonry? 33 degrees. And how many angels fell from heaven? 33.33%, landing on the 33.33 degree north longitude and 33.33 degree east latitude. We could absolutely be lied to about our timeline. They're finding stuff like this and like this and like this in the ice of Antarctica, so what could they be finding there that they're not telling us about? Maybe stuff like this. So what if Freemasonry literally means free masonry? This video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just throwing around theories here. Nothing to be taken as literal. Just use your discernment, please.
Might have a point. The way he explains it is a bit like Alex Jones, where like he's blah 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 blah. So that's when people just like go, no, not listening to it. You never know. That's all I'm saying. And that clock is mad. Isn't it like 600 years old, 800 years old or something? The one in Prague. Crazy.
Here is a way you can prove the flat Earth irrefutably. Ready for it? The Suez Canal. That's right. This engineering marvel is over 120 miles long and completely level the entire way. No dips, no drops, just straight flat water. Now, if the Earth were truly a globe, we'd expect to see some sort of curve over that distance, right? So why is it perfectly level? Let's dive deeper into this. You've got this massive canal connecting the Red Sea to the Mediterranean, allowing ships to travel in both directions with ease. But if we're really living on a globe, shouldn't there be at least a little drop-off along those 120 miles, even just an inch? That's what you'd expect if the Earth curved, right? So why is it completely flat? In fact, here's a little experiment for you. The next time you fly, try recording the entire flight. Just let the camera run and notice something. There's no curve. The plane doesn't dip. You don't feel yourself nosediving to compensate for the Earth's curvature. Even better, ask the pilot if they have to account for the Earth's curve while flying. Most likely, they'll look at you and say no. And let's be honest, if gyroscopes don't account for curvature, then why should we? But let's not stop there. Let's talk about emergency landings. If you look at flight patterns and emergency landings, you'll notice something odd. They only make sense on a flat Earth map. You know, the one that looks an awful lot like the United Nations logo. On a globe, these landings are way out of place. It's almost as if the Earth isn't a spinning ball, but a flat plane, just like some of us have been saying all along. And water. Let's think about that too. When you spin water in a bucket, does it form a ball? Nope. It convexes outward. It does the complete opposite of forming a sphere. Water seeks its level. It doesn't curve around a ball. It's in the very nature of how fluids behave. So why would we think oceans are bending around a globe? It just doesn't add up. Now, I know what you're thinking. If all of this is true, why would anyone lie to us? What's the motive behind convincing us we live on a spinning ball when in fact, the Earth is flat? Well, let's talk money. Space exploration is a $1 trillion industry. NASA alone rakes in $69 million a day, every single day, from your tax dollars. To put that in perspective, that's more than what all the McDonald's in the world make in a day. And you can Google that if you don't believe me. The truth doesn't need to lie to win. It just is. But lies need your belief. They need your participation to exist. So why is the globe theory constantly pushed while the flat Earth idea is ridiculed? Maybe it's because the truth of our world is something they don't want us to see. Maybe they don't want us questioning the status quo.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
We're never, ever, ever going to come to an agreement on the flat Earth debate. But again, complicated Earth law, just words. Agree to disagree, move on. People get so stressed out about it. For over 10 years now, I've been a flat earther. But as soon as you start talking to someone about it, they get agitated and it's like, it's just an opinion. It literally doesn't matter. Keep it moving. Don't fall out over it. Bloody hell. Earth politics. Well anyway guys, it's been a pleasure. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the jolly stuff, and I shall see you next time. Ciao, ciao.